everybody, welcome to Robert's Train Set. In the picture down in this bottom corner here you can see my 040 Shunter, and it's connected up to the Shunters truck. So this video is showing you how I connected it through and the problems, and it was a bit of a pain to do, I must admit. My skills are not that great, and also my fingers are quite big, so I do have problems. You might notice from my smile I've been at the dentist and I've got some teeth, so no more Dracula, I'm afraid, kiddies. I'm normal, well, as much as I ever will be. So before we get on with the video, I had a young lad, well, I assume he's a young lad, an Irishman, lovely accent, and he asked if I could do a little shout out for him. So I think at the moment he's got 10 or 11 subscribers, including me, and I thought I'd give him a little shout out to encourage him. I think we do need to encourage our newer YouTubers, don't we? So he's got a layout in a shed. I'm not convinced it's all fixed down, so it might change, but he did do some running sessions and they're okay. Got trains running, which is what I like, and I'm sorry we've got none at the moment, but there are some at the end, so we'll see how we go. So name of the channel, excuse me reading it, is Drom Sally Railways, and I will put a little thing up on the picture when I edit. So yeah, give it a look, see what you think, and if you want to sort of support him and see how he gets on, subscribe to him. Okay, so anyway, no further ado, as we always say, we'll get on with the showing the fiddly bits of this. Cheers, bye bye. Well, hello everybody. I'm about to start trying to get my 040 Shunter connected to my Shunters truck that I bought. So this is at the start. And if you remember, my little 040 Shunter didn't go over points very well. I have improved it since, but it still gets stuck on the curve points. So we're going to try and add to this loco this Shunters truck, a Hornby Shunters truck, and I'm going to fit some pickups to one set of wheels, and then use that as an extra elongated pickup, like a tender of a locomotive. So hopefully we'll see how we get on. So these are the pickups I'm going to try and fit, which I bought, and if I can get it to focus, that's what they are, and you get 8 to a pack. I've used one set already on some carriages I'm trying to get lights into. So I think the first job, after removing the heavy metal top box and having a look, it's quite congested under there. So what I'm going to do first is put my wires, solder them onto the pickups. Now what I'm hoping to do is put the pickup as far away as I can from the locomotive, have the wires running through to connect to the locomotive. So I'm assuming that the black, the common, is the rail furthest away from you and the live is the one nearest to you, and if I'm wrong I shall just wire it the other way round. And there's a pickup, and I need to obviously fix some cables to that. So you think to yourself you're doing it the wrong way, but remember this goes up underneath, so it's got to turn over. So I'm using my sturdy battery operated soldering iron, and you have it on and then you push the button, and it does, I must admit, it takes a while to warm up, so I shall probably cut some of this bit out. Right, so it is now working, so I'm going to pick up the red first. I'm going to tin it a little bit. Here we are. And while we're on a roll, I think we should try and connect it, don't you? Don't know how much of this you're going to see, but hopefully you can see what I'm doing. There we are, one connected. So a little bit more solder from my little roll. That's it. And we'll tin this bit. There we are. And connect again to the other side. So it works. It's got 3 AA batteries in it, and it does quite a good job. I have got a proper soldering iron upstairs in the loft. So there we are. We've got some wires attached and they seem fairly firm. As I don't possess one of these fancy trimming pliers for trimming the wires off, I did it off camera because I use a knife and my fingernails, and you might not like to see that. So we need now to position this, and at this stage obviously it doesn't matter which end I use. Right, so as I say, it's so small, isn't it? So I'm hoping to just fit that in there like so, and hope that it'll pick up. I'm not that happy with these wheels. It looks as though they might not be metal on the back. I don't know. Anyway, so I'm hoping I can drill a little hole and use the screw from holding the weight in to hold this in. But what I need to do is, there's the screw. There's the screw. I know it's not very well in focus. Let's just put that in. So my circuit tester is magnetic, and we'll see if we can get that in there. That little rod across is a bit of a pain. The postman has just dropped something through my letterbox. Right, there we are. So that's in. Hope you saw that. Can't look at this and at the camera at the same time. And looking at that, it looks a little bit suspect in that there isn't an awful lot of stuff above. Although, yes, we're all right because there is actually a little piece that goes down into that hole. So we've got quite a bit of length on the screw. So if we take it out a bit onto this, then that should be right. So I just really need to work out where to drill the hole, and I think I'm going to try and get it on the edge. So I'm going to drill a hole in the centre of this. Okay, so I had my trusty Parkside drill, and I got a bit in that should do the job. And before I started, I resharpened them all because they were really blunt. So I'm going to go as far as I can see in the middle of this. I'm going to hold it with this screwdriver and just start the hole. So now I've started the hole, I'll get my little bit of board that I want to drill through on. Again, hold it with the screwdriver and we'll see if we can get through this. That might be it. No, just a little bit more. That still needs a little bit more. So I seem to have a little bit of trouble with it biting on the material, so I'm going to hold it gently with these pliers. So I know it's not very easy. I'll try and it doesn't want to focus, but we have to screw in the pickups. So got my cables. Now the cables obviously need to go in under the bar there. Here we are, one lot and the other one. I have got the magnifying general workers tool. Right, that's coming through there. And we need to get that round the right way. There we are. Right, we now need to see whether they actually hit the wheels, because I have a feeling they might not. But hopefully I can bend them up if they don't. So I think at this stage, I think I shall just pop those wheels out, because it's going to be easier to locate it. And this is incredibly fiddly. So I do apologise if you're not getting a very good view of this. I am struggling to get this in. Right, there we are. It's in. So, little screwdriver. That's it. And then we need our little weight on the top. Not convinced that that's going in. This is the screwdriver from the little decoder connections for the DCC points. Right, that is now in, but of course it's skewed round, so let's see if we can turn it round. Getting there, hopefully. Right, push on the red one. Put on the black one. There we are. And if I can get those round, that's it. Right, I now need to tighten it. Unfortunately, it swings round as you try and tighten it. I think I'm going to put some pliers to it, hopefully. Hold it like that, see if I can tighten this up. Right, there we are. So hopefully that is tight. Yes, that is tight. So we need to open up the pickups. So again, probably with the pliers. Right, here we are. So what we need to do now, put the wheels back in. So the theory works, it's just my positioning is not very good. And also it's so low down that it's it would reach if it was a bit higher, but I don't see how I can do that. Because if I bend them up, which I can do, I believe it'll get shorter, won't it? Right, so I made a bit of a miscalculation, and that is so far down it's not hitting her. So what I'm hoping to do is I've got some card here, my famous beer boxes. I'm going to cut a little square out of this and put a hole through it and use it hopefully as a packer, and I think I shall probably do 2 packers. But the danger of course is that the screw then won't reach the little truck on top that it fixes into. So let's cut a couple of these out. And I think the easy way to do it is to drill the hole before you cut it too small. We will see. And I'm wondering, looking at it, whether one will be enough. One might be enough. I think I'm going to start with one and see how we get on. There we are. Got the cardboard on. I know you can't see it. I'm very sorry. I am sorry that you can't see some of this. It's almost impossible to film it. At the same time as trying to keep it where it's got to go. Okay, I just managed to pull that metal away a little bit. That might help. Oh, the idea is to try and get this to work. There we are. That's better. Right, are we in? Right, we are in. I think I might have a problem in that it is not connecting with this truck. No, it's not doing the job, I'm afraid. That packing is, believe it or not, too much. I need it, but I just cannot get that to grip, as you can see. So I'm going to turn off and have a look into it. Well, hello everybody, welcome back. I'm sorry about that. I just couldn't film it and fiddle around. I've managed to get it all connected. The simple way for the screw not being long enough, I countersunk the pickup. If you do this, I obviously couldn't get a big normal countersink. I used a drill bit and do it backwards, and then it doesn't grip in, and that's just got me enough to get that to there. Now I'm not going to move it because what I've got at the moment, and I don't know if you can see this, probably not. I shall take the camera off and I'll show you something. Right, so here is the wagon. I've got the pickups against the wheels. Got a little bit of card underneath, as you can see, and I've got the wires. And what I've done is I've connected them up to my meter, which is on a battery setting at the moment. 1.5 volts. Might be better if I do it to 9. See, I'm using a 9 volt battery. So we'll try it on a 9 volt setting. So here's my battery, here's my tester. Set for 9 volts on battery, and I have a 9 volt battery. So I'm now going to touch this onto the wheels. So as you can see, I'm getting a reading of 7.15, which is probably all the battery's got in it. Okay, so we left it showing that I was getting a reading on the truck with the wires. This is now a day and a bit later because I had things to do. What I actually did is, I don't know whether that will focus, but the pickups on the inside of the wheels, I wasn't that happy. So I've actually moved the pickups to the outside of the flange, which seems to be a lot more reliable. So we've got that. So the next bit to do is obviously to get these wires, get the wires out through the bottom of the chassis. So we're going to have a look at that. So I'm going to turn off now and I'll get my drill and that and sort out what I'm going to do, and then I'll come back to you. Okay. Okay, so I've had a look. I found a drill bit to do it. It's a little bit bigger than the cable, so otherwise you're just going to have trouble getting the cable through. I've taken the coupling out. And I'm going to try and get it coming out as close as I can, and I'm sorry it's a bit difficult, but as close as I can to that hook that's in there. So I'm going to drill in, and then I think the difficult bit will be getting the cable into the hole. So we'll see how we go. So I'm not sure whether this, I think it's plastic, so it shouldn't be too difficult. Yep, we're through there, and the same the other side. Oh, ran off a bit, never mind. So there we are, just give that a little rub with a glass paper, and maybe the same on the inside. So the next bit is to see if we can get this cable through, and I think the safest way to do it will be to cut the ends off the cable, otherwise they're going to all snag, aren't they? There we are. I'm going to see if we can thread this through, haven't we? Could be fun. So if I think if we just bend that a little bit and then pop him in. There we are. We now do have the cable through. They're not hitting on the wheels, which is a good sign, isn't it? The wheels are still spinning. So there we are. Now what worries me is whether they're going to put so much resistance in it that it'll knock off the thing. We'll have to see when we go. So that basically is ready. The Shunters truck is ready to be connected to the loco. So the next bit obviously is to take the body off the loco. Now these are very, 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 very simple in that there's a clip there, like so, and a clip the other side, and you take that off there. That's my extra weight, the white, what's the name, and then that just slides off. But it does have the DCC chip up there. So I'm going to just remove that for a little while because it will give me a bit more room. That's it. So they can go over safely out the way into this little box that I've got here. There we are. And what I need to do now is decide where I'm going to connect these cables to, and I think the obvious thing is to the one set of pickup wires. So I think the next thing to do is probably to disassemble it all. Forgetting tonight, it's these clips that hold that in. That's it. This is where the pickups send their power. So I don't know if you can see that, but they're in there. So if I can get my cables into there, bearing in mind that this is the back, isn't it? So remember that's the back. Yeah, yeah. There's a couple of little clips here, like one there and one there, I believe. And there we are, and that comes out. There we are. Difficult bit is remembering how to put it all back together again, isn't it? So what I really want to do now is solder get those cables in through there, and get them through there without getting in the way of everything, which could be fun. So you're looking at this the same time as I do. Do I try and drill a hole right through there? Let's little experiment and see if I can actually drill through here. And I don't know what's in there. This is actually metal, believe it or not. We've got holes through, and that's aluminium by the look of it. Obviously, I'm probably going to cut quite a bit of this out while I fiddle around. So I think I need to try and get a hole through this bit of plastic here, so we'll have a go. So I think I'm going to bring that bit out a bit. Yes, that goes straight through there. We're getting somewhere, hopefully. This could be the fun bit. Might be, there we are. Right, there's one in. There we are. Right, so they're through, so that's good. So there we are, we've got that. I just need to clear this up. I'll go and get my little trusty vacuum cleaner. There we are, my little trusty vacuum cleaner. Right, I'm just going to turn the camera off, and I'm just going to go and try this on the track, and we'll see how we go. Be back. So, welcome back. Okay, as you saw, I went over and tried this on the rails, and it seemed to go round the bends no problem. I also coupled up a couple of my day pole wagons in a guards van and ran them around. Obviously it's not quite the same when you push as when it's with the motor, but it all seemed to stay on even backwards, so it's looking promising. So off camera I've shortened the cables. I've taken the ends off because you don't want to see me how I do it, do you? And I've got the soldering iron ready. So the next bit really is just to solder these into there. Now I do appreciate I'm going the black to the red and the red to the black, but I would assume that if you've got it round the right way, that's where it's going to go, isn't it? There we are, that's going now. So let's have a little bit on there. There we are, and a little bit on there. On your fingers, it's hot, as they say. There we are. Oh dear, what I thought would happen was happened. So I got the red one on, but the black one's come off. So let's see if we can get that back on. Let's give it a bit more, give it a tin. Right, we've done that one. Right, there we are. So we're on. Whether it works or not, it doesn't matter, and whether I can get everything back, doesn't it? So we are connected. We obviously have got a little bit of slack there, which I think I'll leave like that. So we need to put it all back together. What's the cables everywhere? And we'll put them up there and see if we can get that back on. There we are. Well, there we are, peoples. It's as far as I know, it's done. We'll now need to find out whether it'll work, don't we? and whether we're okay. So looks good at the moment. So there we are. So I've got Railmaster working, and I've put the loco on the tracks here, and it didn't fuse, so that's a good sign. So I've not run it. This is the first time. You and I will both see whether I have buggered it up, shall we say. Well, it moves, clicking a bit. As you can see, I don't know if you can see that, but there we are. No wheels on, and it works. So it's like a stay alive almost. So I'm quite happy with that. So it's worked. The theory has worked. So I'm going to turn you off now, and I'm just going to go and see if I can sort out the funny noises from the cables. It's obviously the cables hitting. So I'm going to go and have a look and see what happens, all right? Right, as we approach this curve point, it still stalls. But the good thing is it starts up again, which it never used to do before. So we'll now do it backwards, and again it did stall, but it did carry on. Now I sorted out the clicking. It was the cable hitting the worm gear. Unfortunately I had to shorten it a bit and reroute it, and I can't get a coupling on. So I've now coupled it up to some wagons, as you can see, and it performs really well. No problem at all. Went straight across, which it certainly wouldn't have done before. And here it comes again. Absolutely super. So I've got a little train I can run around. And over the other small point. Here it comes round to by the station. No problem, straight across. This time we're going to switch tracks. It sticks, but starts again. And across it goes. So here we go on the bit that used to stick on my original video. Will it make it? Not a problem.